Hi, grade twos. I hope you got through your first graphing assignment pretty easily. If it was a little bit challenging for you, that's totally okay. I linked a couple of math games on Wednesday and Thursday that you can take a look at, and they focus on the analysis part of the graphing. So if that was something that you had a little bit of trouble with, the games are there to help you for some extra practice. So to continue on with our graphing unit, we are going to talk a little bit about pictographs. So a pictograph is a type of graph, obviously, that uses pictures instead of numbers to represent the data, okay? So I just said a lot of big words, might not make a lot of sense to you. So I have attached below 3 pictograph activities, okay? So let's look at the first one all together. So at the top of this page is a pictograph, as you can see. So we've got 5 different teachers listed here. So there's Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Lake, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. James, and Mrs. Henry. Just because they're going to make it confusing for you, there's a Mrs. Jones and a Mrs. James, okay? The most important thing in a pictograph is the key. So as you can see right here where I'm pointing, it says key, and it says the picture of the airplane represents 1 student. So be very, very careful with this, because as you go through the next few pages, the key tells you that it doesn't always represent 1 student. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 5. It's up to you to make sure that you're really paying attention to that, okay? But for this one, we're going to keep it pretty simple. It's just representing 1 student. So, I've got an audience today. Stop. So if we go to the questions, oops, wrong way. So if we go to the questions, the first one asks us, how many total students have flown on an airplane? So that's asking about the total students in all of the classes. So pretty straightforward. All we would have to do for this one is count the number of airplanes, and that would be your answer. Okay, that's number 1. For number 2, it wants to know how many students in Mrs. Lake's class have flown on an airplane. So we'll find Mrs. Lake on our pictograph and count how many airplanes are there representing the students, and so forth. Okay, I hope that's pretty straightforward. The first page, I anticipate there shouldn't be too many problems. Once we get to the second section of it, again, we need to take a look at our key. So it's a little bit different this time around. It's not just 1 bicycle representing 1 student. Okay, so parents really keep that in mind when you're helping your student complete these assignments. And then same with page number 3. So I've attached these below. I hope that makes sense. I'll give you a couple days to get working on this, and I'll attach some games to go with that. All right, have fun.
Bye.